Tell us the inspiration behind creating the unspoken curriculum.
There were things that I learned about race that wasn't necessarily in the curriculum that scarred me and that I still deal with to this day. Society never made me feel safe in every room that I walk in. At today, as the powerful celebrity that I am, I still brace myself when I walk into establishments that don't have people of color in them. I brace myself. You know why? Because society tells me I'm not safe in those circles. Shows me every day with all the hashtags and unarmed Black people being killed. I just, walking around honestly always in a state of uncertainty as Black people, right? Black students make up 16% of enrolled students, right? They are often treated more harshly due to bias. And they account for 27% of students who are referred to law enforcement, 31% of students who are arrested, pipeline to prison, 48% of students, almost half of the enrolled students, receiving one or more suspensions. Where is the love? Where is the compassion? Where is the making that student feel, where are the safe spaces for them to decompress the traumas they may be suffering from their neighborhoods? When I was a substitute teacher, the things that children are normalizing is so dysfunctional. But then again, as Black people, we've been normalizing our trauma since slavery, right? So it's time to break the cycle. It's time to talk. It's time to lift up that carpet where we've been sweeping all this dirt for all these generations, and we have to deal with it.
The campaign talks about how there's a sense of unbelonging among Black students in the U.S. education system. The unspoken curriculum aims to shape how Black students view themselves and each other in society. And so is this curriculum, is it for high school students? Is it for primary school students?
12 to 22. And we also want parents, families, principals, teachers, guidance counselors, social workers, corporations, and the general public to all get involved. It's a 6-week program. What we are going to do is we're going to challenge people we need you to talk about it. See, it's not just for Black students either, because let me tell you, my son was in a very culturally mixed school, predominantly white, private school, and a lot of his friends weren't Black. How does it affect the white students who have friends and they see clearly how the system is unfair to them? They need a platform to speak as well, because you know what? It's about everybody being seen and felt. And, it doesn't just affect that Black kid. If that Black kid has white friends, they're equally affected as well. They see it, and it's going to take for them to speak out on it as well for us to meet this thing head on.
And it teaches them, it sounds like, how to become allies now versus when they grow up and they learn about it, right? That's what it seems like.
Everybody just sweep things under the carpet, as we all experienced the death of George Floyd.
As we know, it's been a year since America's racial reckoning, the most recent one, I should say. You've been outspoken about its effects in Hollywood. Have you seen any meaningful changes in the past year?
I've seen change, because to sit here and say nothing has changed would be a lie. But we have a long ways to go. Anybody of color or from a different race, we're fighting to give our people representation. And what your constant message is that, you do better in the supporting category. You're not good enough to lead yet.
Do you think that might specifically be the current priority right now that you are hoping and working to see?
Well, here's the deal. This is where I'm getting with it at 50. I'm tired of begging. Now it's on to creating a space for us to celebrate us in a real way, in a way that's as artists. If you're going to celebrate us, then celebrate us. Don't just throw us bones here and there to make us feel good because right now race is the topic, right? Let's see consistency. Let's see consistency. Why does this have to be a hashtag and we bring attention? Why can't it just be what it is? So at this point, I'm tired of begging and trying to appease, because I just think that it's a cultural difference. When it comes to our stories, it just doesn't affect the other side because they don't understand it. They don't get it. It's not their story, So then we need to create our own platform where there's not as much politics, right? Where there's no politics involved. It's just about the art.
And you are creating your own thing in many different ways. One of those is in your directorial debut. Congratulations. Of Two-Faced. Explain to people what the movie will be about and how you plan on making it a comedy.
Well, it's definitely a comedy. You know, you can learn a lot. Comedy is a way of teaching, a way of giving information. It's just in a laughing manner, so it doesn't feel so heavy with lessons and messages, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're learning just through laughter. And, you know, it's funny because of the characterisms and the characterizations, but it's dealing with very, what we're talking about, bias in the schools and racism in the schools and the undertones that kids have to deal with. And what I never saw growing up is a girl that looked like me, a coming of age story with a woman, with a young girl that looks like me. All I had was Molly Ringwald. Molly Ringwald was great. And I love 16 Candles. I watch it to this day. But back then I identified with her because her character was poor and from a broken home. But other than that, it didn't really deal with my issues as a Black girl, right? So I'm so grateful to spearhead this project, direct it, and give these black and brown girls some representation.